Does anybody really think that it was just gross incompetence that there was an assassination attempt against Donald Trump? No. No, you would literally have to be just not have a brain to think that it was gross incompetence. So the head of the Secret Service resigning isn't really a big deal, is it? Because it's more than gross incompetence. It was deliberate. But understand something, that they're supposed to keep the president safe, right? Just like CDC is supposed to keep you safe. Just like the hospital and nursing associations are about your safety. Yet what did I say yesterday the hospitals are doing in psychiatric hospitals? Oh, they're putting Bluetooth devices on patients so that they can track them instead of hiring more staff, which is why they have pushed for all these years, these associations of healthcare and nursing, that, oh, there's a shortage. No, they deliberately wanted a shortage. They pushed people out. They did everything they could, the hospitals, the associations, the nursing associations, all of them, so that there would be a shortage so they could bring in their sick, twisted technology. Bluetooth tracking patients does nothing except serve the CEOs of every hospital. That's what it does, so that they can make sure that they can tell Joint Commission or CMS, where they get their funding from, that nope, see, we did our 15-minute checks. That's all the bastards care about. That's all they ever cared about. Seriously, every CEO in this country at any major corporation, if they had any smarts to them, they would be shaking, but they're not, because they're not smart people. I became a psych nurse so that I could have one-on-one time with patients, because, especially in psych, because many patients, they want time for you to listen to them, hear them, work, working things out. That's the reason I became a psych nurse. Do you think the head of healthcare cares about that? Hell no. They just care about get your 15-minute checks done. That's not going to help any patients, because the CEOs of the hospitals are not about helping patients. But I'll tell you this, for years now, the people, the laborers, have been praying up to God, screaming up to God, hollering, just like they did before the book of Exodus, when they hollered up to God, please help us, please help us. We've been doing that for years, and our voices are being heard. And so every corporation on this planet should be scared. I mean, beyond scared. But they won't, because they're not smart enough to realize it. They stand with the people that believe that there is no God. The same people that have told you that there is no God also have told you, we keep you safe. Just saying. Religion that is pure and undefiled, not corrupt, before God the Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their affliction and to keep oneself unstained from the world. Yes, that's in psych hospitals. That's what we should be doing, is helping the people that are in need. And the way you help them isn't to track them with some stupid Bluetooth device. It's to give more staff. So then you can not only get your 15-minute checks done so the hospital CEOs are happy and corporate, but so that you can actually spend time with patients. But see, the corporations aren't about wanting more, putting in more healthcare workers. No, they don't want that, because it costs them money then, because that's what they live for, the root of all evil, and it's defiled them in every way. And the denominations of religion haven't helped either. No, they haven't, because they don't even want to speak the truth. Why? Because all of them get some sort of funding from the government. They all do. They all do. Whether it's through, tax exemption or whatever. But the people that have always been the ones that have been hurt by the very corporations, the systems of this world, the corporation of America, the corporation of the world, has been the little guy, the laborers. But if anyone has the world's goods and sees, anyone who has the world's goods and sees his brother in need, yet closes his heart against him, how does God's love abide in him? It doesn't, which is why healthcare is disgusting. Why the hospitals, the corporate, their administrators are disgusting. Love does not abide in them. They're not about love. They're about, hey, I got to get my paycheck. I got to go along with whatever corporate says, because CDC or HHS or whatever expert has come along and said that this is what's best for healthcare. These people would not be able to do anything good or safe for patients. Never, never, never. They didn't during COVID. They haven't for a long, long time. They're no different than the same people that are supposed to keep former presidents and their families safe. Because that's not what, if you want to find safety, you need to look to God. God is where your refuge is. And it's this very verse why I get a little nervous when I hear people talk about us all coming together and unifying. Yeah, I get worried when I hear people say that. I really do. Because, well, God says something different. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness? It's this simple. If you don't believe in God, you will justify any poor behavior and poor actions, so you can do whatever it is you want to do. It's that simple. But if you do believe in God, you truly have a heart that believes in God, then it's not as easy to justify immoral behavior. Do you see how immoral the people are that are running things in our government? And do you see how immoral the Democrats and the Republicans are? I used to think the Democrats were worse, and I still do. But the Republicans, they just really just play this silent role of allowing things to get worse and worse, and then do hearings, but nothing comes of those hearings. So what's the point to all of it? Nobody can do anything, because nobody will. Because there's more people that will go along with what is sick and twisted than what is right. And then when people want to give up hope, there is no reason to give up hope. None. God told you not to attach to this world. He told you not to attach to it because this is how it is. It has sick CEOs running it that are so twisted in their mind they don't even know that they're sick. They put on their fancy suits. It's why I always say they're scumbags in a nice suit. They put on their fancy suit, no different than the Pharisees, and they look all like splendid, and then they think everybody buys their bullshit. That's how easy you get played by that bullshit. I watch these administrators of healthcare somehow push these agendas like Bluetooth on patients. Absolutely asinine and ridiculous. But they somehow convince themselves they know best. Yeah, can you think for yourself, you administrators? Do you have a brain? Do you believe in God? No, likely not if you're going to continue to push things that are immoral and aren't going to help anybody except the pocketbooks of the very people that you're bending the knee for. This is why you should never lose hope. Listen, my beloved brothers, has not God chosen those who are poor in the world to be rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom which he has promised to those who love him? Everybody pays a price. The price you pay depends on where you stand. And where you should stand is with God. That's where you should take refuge in. That's where you should keep hope in. It goes back to the very second book of the Bible, Exodus. God led the Israelites out of Egypt because they were praying and hollering up to God, please help us. Don't disregard that story. Don't even disregard any story in the Bible. But most especially that one. Because there's been many people hollering up to the Lord, saying we're sick of the corporations, we're sick of these CEOs, we're sick of the government corporation, we are sick of the party corporations, we are sick of the healthcare and education corporations, we're sick of all of them. Please help us, God, because there's nobody here that will do anything about them. Believe me, God will do something about every single one of them.